Hello, dear subscribers and guests of the channel Myths and Legends. Today we will dive into the mysterious and multifaceted world of ancient Greek mythology. Our topic will be the forebears of the gods of Olympus, those who stood at the origins of creation and embodied the elemental forces of nature. Before the Olympian gods ruled the world, there was an older and more powerful race, the Titans. These beings were mighty, sometimes cruel, and played a key role in the creation of the world. But over time, their influence waned, and they remained only in legends as something distant and forgotten. How did it happen that the Titans, who once ruled the world, were overthrown and became just an echo in the memory of those interested in ancient mythology? Let's explore this in more detail. To begin, ancient Greek mythology distinguishes three generations of gods. The first generation consists of the oldest entities personifying fundamental, global forces without a clear shape or personality. These include Earth, Gaia, sky, Uranus, night, Nyx, and other abstract concepts representing the essence of existence itself. These gods didn't have human qualities, they were more like symbols than individuals. The Titans belong to the second generation of gods. They occupy an intermediate position between the primal forces and the more human Olympians. Unlike their ancestors, the Titans had more pronounced personalities and traits, but they were still tied to natural phenomena and forces. The Titans were powerful beings who embodied the elemental forces of nature. The Titans were the children of Uranus, sky, and Gaia, earth, and represented a balance between the orderly cosmos and the primordial chaos. Their reign lasted many millennia, until their own children, the Olympian gods, led by Zeus, rose up against them and overthrew them. This moment, the battle of the Titans with the Olympians, known as the Titanomachy, became a turning point in the mythological history of ancient Greece. After this, the Titans were cast into the dark depths of Tartarus, and the Olympians established themselves as the main deities of the new world. Zeus, Athena, Apollo, these were gods the ancient Greeks could imagine as heroes and rulers. Thus, the Titans occupy a special place in mythology as a bridge between faceless natural forces and the fully anthropomorphic Olympians. They reflect a phase of mythological evolution where the world gradually gained order, and the gods acquired personalities and characteristics. The Titans stood at the threshold of this change, and their defeat at the hands of the Olympians symbolized the transition from chaos to cosmos, from facelessness to individuality. The Titans are not just ancient beings, they are the embodiment of nature itself, power, and untamed force. Their story reminds us of the cyclical nature of time and the inevitability of change, where even the greatest can be overthrown by new forces, but their legacy will remain forever in human memory through myths and legends. Initially, the world was in a state of complete disorder and emptiness, where nothing existed except chaos and darkness. It was from this primordial chaos that the first deities gradually emerged. Chaos, representing the abyss and unseparated elements of the universe, united with gloom, the embodiment of darkness and void. From this union came two powerful beings, Gaia and Uranus. Gaia, symbolizing the earth, became the embodiment of all material and life-giving principles. She was the elder sister of Uranus, who personified the celestial vault and the boundless expanse of the sky. Despite their kinship, they became a pair, entering into a divine union that gave birth to a new generation of beings. From the marriage of Gaia and Uranus, 12 children were born, 6 sons and 6 daughters, who became known as the Titans. These ancient gods of the second generation spread their power and influence throughout the universe. The Titans, children of earth and sky, embodied the primordial might and forces of nature, standing on the threshold between chaos and the orderly world that would later be established with the coming of the Olympians. Their reign was a time of tremendous change and struggles for power, foreshadowing the arrival of the more human gods of the third generation, who would eventually rule Olympus and become the heroes of myths, relatable and understandable to ordinary people. It should be noted that ancient Greek myths have many versions and interpretations, and each generation of scholars can interpret these ancient tales in its own way. In this case, we rely on the description of events provided by Hesiod, a famous poet of ancient Greece who lived in the 8th–7th centuries BCE. His version of the myths most thoroughly describes the structure of the ancient pantheon. Among the Titans, a special place is held by Kronos, who was their leader and embodied time, its relentless march, and destructive power. Kronos not only led the Titans but also played an important role in the myths about the overthrow of Uranus, and was later himself overthrown by his son Zeus. Oceanus, the eldest of the Titans, embodied the world's oceans and waters that surrounded the earth. In ancient Greek myths, he represented the boundless waters on which the world's prosperity depended. Kronos, a Titan, was associated with the stars and constellations. His power extended over celestial phenomena and their cycles, connecting him with cosmic order. Kronos represented the celestial axis, the foundation on which the entire world rested. In myths, he symbolized the structure and stability of the universe, necessary for maintaining the cosmos. Iapetus, according to some sources, was the ancestor of the Aryan peoples and personified the strength and power of ancient warriors. He is also known as the father of Prometheus, who gave fire to humanity. Hyperion was the Titan of light and the father of Helios, the god of the sun. His power lay in controlling light and sunrises, making him an important figure in maintaining the cycles of life. Among the Titanesses, Themis stands out, the goddess of justice and order. She symbolized the universal law and harmony that allowed the world to exist in balance. Rhea, the wife of Kronos, was the queen of the Titans and the goddess of fertility and motherhood. She played a decisive role in saving her children by hiding Zeus, who later overthrew her husband. Rhea embodied care for life and growth, symbolizing parental love and protection. Tethys, being the feminine embodiment of the sea, was the wife of Oceanus, one of the 12 Titans. She represented the depths of the sea and its life force, making her an important part of myths about the watery element. Rhea, in turn, was the goddess of the moon. Her role in ancient Greek mythology was to govern the light of the nighttime celestial body, linking her to the mystical and magical aspects of the world. Mnemosyne represented the embodiment of memory. She played a key role in preserving knowledge and traditions, and she was the mother of the Muses, who later became the patrons of art, science, and literature. Her importance in mythology emphasized the significance of memory as the foundation of culture and tradition. Phoebe, the goddess of brightness and wisdom, embodied intellect and clarity of thought. Her daughter was Leto, the mother of Apollo and Artemis, further highlighting her important place in the hierarchy of ancient Greek deities. Besides the 12 main Titans, Hesiod also mentions the birth of other beings born of Uranus and Gaia. Among them were the Cyclops, huge monsters distinguished by their single eye. These beings, though powerful, did not become part of the Olympian era of gods. Also among the descendants of Gaia and Uranus were the Hecatoncheires, giants with 100 hands and 50 heads. They embodied the elemental forces of nature like the Titans, but were even more destructive and chaotic. Their incredible physical strength made them symbols of untamed natural phenomena. Gaia, the wife of Uranus, once became outraged by her husband's cruelty when he imprisoned their children, the Titans Cyclops and Hecatoncheires, in the dark depths of Tartarus. In her anger, Gaia decided to help her children break free, which set in motion important mythological events. Only one of the Titans, the youngest and most ruthless, Kronos, responded to his mother's call to overthrow their father. It was he who ultimately took a leading position among his brothers and sisters. The reason for the rebellion was Uranus' suspicious and cruel nature. He always feared that his children would one day overthrow him and seize power. To prevent this, he immediately imprisoned them deep within the earth after their birth, giving them no chance for freedom. Kronos, born last, was the one who dared to take decisive action. His mother, Gaia, raged by Uranus' behavior and the fate of her children, proposed to Kronos to castrate his father. Kronos agreed to this bold plan. He took a sickle made of flint, and while Uranus slept, deprived him of the ability to have offspring. This act symbolized the end of Uranus' reign and the liberation of all the imprisoned children. The sickle, the weapon of overthrow, was thrown into the sea off the coast of northern Peloponnese. After that, all the Titans and other beings that Uranus had imprisoned were freed from the depths of the earth. Kronos, as the liberator of his brothers and sisters, became their leader. It was to him they owed their freedom, and for this reason, he took the foremost place among the Titans. The reign of Kronos marked the beginning of the Golden Age on Earth, when everything existed in harmony and people lived without worries and suffering. During this time, the world was full of abundance, and all beings enjoyed a peaceful life, until the Titans themselves faced a threat from their descendants, the Olympian gods. However, like his father, Kronos did not have a gentle nature. After seizing power, his cruel character resurfaced. He once again imprisoned the Hecatoncheires in the depths of the earth. In his desire to maintain power at any cost, Kronos married his own sister Rhea, but despite the birth of their children, his fear of losing the throne drove him to horrifying actions. Kronos feared that one of his children would one day overthrow him, just as he had overthrown his father. Therefore, when Rhea gave birth to their firstborn, a daughter named Hestia, he swallowed her, hoping to prevent any threat to his rule. But he didn't stop there. After Hestia, he swallowed his next children, Demeter, Hera, Hades, and Poseidon, one after the other. When the time came for the birth of their youngest son, Zeus, Rhea decided to save him from a terrible fate. She fled to the island of Crete and gave birth to the child in an underground cave, hiding him from Kronos. To deceive her husband, she wrapped a stone in swaddling clothes and presented it as the newborn. Kronos, suspecting nothing, swallowed the stone, believing he had eliminated yet another potential threat to his throne. However, he soon realized he had been deceived and began searching for the infant Zeus. His attempts were thwarted by the Curetes, who were priests and companions of the goddess Rhea. When baby Zeus cried, the Curetes made deafening noise so that the cruel father Kronos would not hear the child's sounds and discover his whereabouts. Thanks to Rhea's cunning plan, Zeus remained hidden and was able to grow up peacefully. Years passed, and Zeus, having matured, decided to challenge his father. This decision led to the beginning of one of the most epic wars in ancient Greek mythology, the Titanomachy, a 10-year struggle between the new generation of gods and the old Titans. In this war, Zeus united forces with loyal allies, including the mighty Cyclopes, who were known for their single-eyed appearance and incredible strength. These beings played a key role in supporting the future Olympians in their battle. The final and decisive stage of the Titanomachy was Zeus's complete victory over his father. Just as Kronos had once overthrown his father Uranus, now Zeus defeated Kronos. He castrated him, repeating the fate of his father, and forced Kronos to regurgitate the swallowed children, including Hestia, Demeter, Hera, Hades, and Poseidon. In this way, Zeus freed his brothers and sisters, who later took their places in the pantheon of the Olympian gods. After his victory, Zeus cast Kronos and all the Titans who supported him into the dark depths of Tartarus, the dreadful underworld, located even lower than the realm of the dead, which would later be ruled by Hades. Tartarus became the eternal prison for the defeated Titans, where they were confined for centuries, cut off from the world, and stripped of the chance to rise to power again. To ensure the Titans could not escape from Tartarus, Zeus left a powerful guard at the gates, the freed Hecatonchires. These guards became the guarantee that none of the overthrown Titans could ever again rise against the Olympian gods. After the long and bloody war, in which the Olympians emerged victorious, Zeus married Hera, making her the queen of the gods and his main companion. Demeter, Zeus's sister, gained dominion over agriculture and fertility, protecting the fields and harvests. Poseidon was appointed ruler of the seas, and Hades took on the grim role of the ruler of the realm of the dead, governing the souls of the deceased. The gods of the third generation, known as the Olympians, were named after Mount Olympus, the highest mountain in Greece, which Zeus made his residence and a symbol of their authority. As for the Titans and Titanesses who did not oppose Zeus, they escaped punishment and remained in the heavenly pantheon, retaining their place in the mythological hierarchy. Although Kronos' rule in the myths was called the Golden Age, the Titans represented chaos and the ruthless forces of nature. The overthrow of the Titans and the transfer of power to the Olympians, who were more human and wise, became a logical stage in the evolution of myths and the culture of ancient Greece. This transition symbolized the shift from wild and primordial forces to an orderly and harmonious world where the gods cared for humanity. And that concludes today's story. Thank you for watching this video until the end. To avoid missing new episodes, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell. If you'd like to support me, the best way is to give this video a thumbs up. Your feedback in the comments always makes me happy and helps improve the content. See you again soon on the Myths and Legends channel. Goodbye.